welcome to my YouTube channel. In this channel, I get to answer your question by telling you a story. I do this every Friday and Saturday. So I started up a story yesterday intended to answer the question how to maintain a consistent prayer life. So stay here and let's journey into this story, which will be revealing to you how to maintain a consistent prayer life. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so each time I post a new video, you will be the first to be notified. Okay, so let's get to the story started. So just like I started yesterday, when Chidibem got that call that made him to scream and almost jump out of the seat, he called his younger brother and told him to start running back home, that their younger sister was dying, and also told him to just go. He was going to send him money, avoiding any questions from his younger brother. And his younger brother had a lot of questions going through his mind. Why would his elder brother Chidibem just call him all of a sudden and not explain what was really happening? But he couldn't ask because Chidibem entered the call immediately. Chidibem sat down there confused, remembering that he had this dream that night, and he called his younger sister to check up on her, and she was fine. He did not understand the dream, which he blamed himself for not understanding it, unlike in those days when he had his prayer life consistent. But then he couldn't do anything. He already asked his sister if she was okay. And exactly what he saw in the dream was what was happening. She was bleeding, crying, and almost at the point of death. And this was what he saw in his dream, but he did not understand because in the dream she was covered from her head to the toe in a pool of her blood. So he really did not know what was happening. He didn't know if it was a gunshot, he didn't know if it was a stab, nothing. But then the information he just got made him realize that his sister had an abortion and there was complications. So he just prayed and was praying silently for mercy, while Ebuka, his neighbor who was sitting beside him, was just looking at him confused. But after the business of the day, Chidibem went home as usual. But then, unlike him, he did not put on those worldly songs and dance to it. He was definitely lost in the mood. His sister was dying. So he just went to his room, managed to eat slow and took his bath. Lay down on the bed and tried praying, but he couldn't. It felt very difficult because over time, he has not maintained such a constant life. He felt like his prayer was hitting the ceiling and coming back on his head. But then he just started to play a worship song instead, a cool worship song, and he was able to pray for just a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and he slept. The next day, when he woke up to go for business, he did something he has not been doing for a very long time. He went down on his knees and he prayed. He prayed for his sister. He actually opened his Bible and read some few psalms. Then stood up, took his bed and went for business. When he got to the shop, there was no form of gossip with him and Ebuka. Like, he did not have that time. He just sat down in the shop, decided to play one of his pastor's messages and prayed along when there was no customer. When there was a customer, he attended to the customer, but still allowed the message to be playing. He was just feeding his mind, feeding his spirit, and he was praying as well. At some point, he said he started going to church once in a while. He has not been going for a while, so he started going to church consistently, attending the gathering of the brethren. Sometimes during the evening service, he would go. And just like that, he was beginning to pick up his prayer life. At some point, he fixed a particular time for prayer and time for study. He did this consistently, and all of a sudden, he realized that he could pray again. One of the days while he was in the shop attending to one customer, his neighbor Ebuka walked in and hailed him. Ha! Prayer warrior. Chidibem looked at him and said, I wish I was. Ebuka looked at him and responded, you ha! You! All of a sudden, you listen to your pastor's message, you pray along silently, I will sit down, I will be looking at you, your mouth will be moving, though I will not be hearing anything, but I know you are praying. How are you doing it? I thought you said you could not pray any longer and business was taking a whole part of your life. Chidibem smiled and responded, of course, I could not, but now I think I am getting better at praying. Nothing much. I just changed my routine. Instead of going on to dance to songs, godly songs, watch movies, when I get home I just listen to worship songs, pray, listen to audio Bible if I can't read my Bible for the day. And I had a fixed time for prayer as well. I just feed my mind, my spirit with good messages, and all of a sudden I see myself praying more often than when I don't do those things. The customer who was there, who happens to be a lady, smiled and intruded into their talk and said, "You can pray now because you are building structure and system, and that's awakening the God inside of you." Ebuka did not understand, and Chidibim too did not understand. So she explained further. She said, "Now when you listen to those songs, you feed your mind and your spirit with messages, audio Bible. This is you building up a foundation, just like a structure. And when you fix the time for prayer and study, this is you building up a system, which simply means, let me explain it this way, just like raising up a building. You know, you have to lay foundation, then in the building you lay blocks upon blocks, cement it together, and this is what you are just doing. You are laying a foundation by always feeding your spirit and your mind with good messages. And of course, you're building up a system by always having a fixed time, a fixed place, and you go to the place, possibly your room, your parlor, anywhere, but you have a fixed time to fellowship with God. That is you building a system. And by doing this, you will definitely be consistent with prayer, attending the gathering of the brethren, as well include the structure. And I think you should also add fasting, and as well take care of your body. When you know you want to pray at night, you don't need to eat every food. Better still, understand your body and know what to eat and not what to eat, so you can pray effectively. I wish I could just sit down here and explain to you guys what structure and system means in detail, but then I'm running out of time. I have an appointment to meet. This beautiful lady was saying she finally dropped the clothes on the chair while Chudubim punched his calculator, summing up the price of the clothes. And last thing the lady said before she left the shop, "You are God, and the God in you will remain dead if you don't pray. But once you pick up a prayer life, then it comes alive, and you can do a lot of things that cannot be done on a normal." At this point, she left. She didn't that the same word himself, "I am God." And he said again, "God, keep my sister." Just then his phone rang. He picked up his phone and he was scared because it was his younger brother calling him. He hoped to hear good news and not bad news, that his sister was alive. And lo and behold, his sister was alive. She was now well. At this point, Chidibem smiled and was really happy. He jumped up with joy, while Ebuka remained there looking at him, and what the customer said was echoing in his ear. And he thought to himself, so if I can change my routine of just gossiping, scrolling through social media aimlessly, and fixing some appropriate things, I can start praying consistently. And that's the end of my story. So you see, if I thought you must build a consistent prayer life, one thing you must learn is to build up a structure and a system. And why you are not praying is because you don't have a structure, you don't have a system. You don't expect to spend your whole day talking, laughing. Those things are good, but then you must fill in your day with things that will edify your spirit. So when you go to the place of prayer, Father will always push you to come to the place of prayer. Imagine you spent your day not just gossiping, but you had your earpiece in your ear, listening to good songs, listening to messages. When you get back home in the night, there's always this push to go to the place of prayer. You have a fixed time. You don't just assume that you're going to do those things. Have a fixed time. Have a place you can also do it as well. Give your prayer life a time and a place to live in your world, and you will see yourself always praying. Yeah, and that's the end of my story. See you next week. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, throw in your comments, ask your questions, and see me tell your story, answering them. See you next week.